Hey, a little update on the state of Star Citizen and the new Resource Drive event. New event requires you to either transport cargo from point A to point B, usually some moon, to home planet of the corp you chose, or you can also mine or otherwise acquire the cargo and deliver it to the home planet of the corp. Pretty easy and chill event, if not for a couple of issues. Couple being used very lightly here. Problem number 1. Mining is most likely not worth it. A large hauling mission gives you 180 SCU of cargo, which means you can just accept a large hauling mission, load the cargo onto your ship and abandon the mission, rinse and repeat until your ship is full, and then deliver it to whatever corp you chose. This method yields more alpha UEC than just finishing the missions normally, as well as it requires less effort and attention than mining, especially if you bring an ATLS, which you should. Problem number 2. A lot of people complain about not having any missions to accept. This, however, is easily counteracted by accepting missions from multiple corps and then delivering all of those goods to a single corp of your choosing. So let's move on to the two biggest issues. Time to address the elevator in the room, which is our third problem and the most frustrating one. We always knew that elevators aren't the most reliable, but I wasn't prepared for just how broken and in how many ways they can be. Elevators not going down, elevators not going up, elevators with zero or negative capacity, elevators duplicating your cargo just to delete it on the next movement, and about 7 billion error notifications that would embarrass even an HP printer. It seems every mission you do, the elevators find a new way of breaking themselves, to which the only solution seems to be changing servers or abandoning the mission, relocating and injecting yourself with 70 milligrams of hopium that the next location is going to be better. At this point, if an elevator lets you move at least one box at a time, it is considered a major success. And then there is our fourth problem, griefers and wannabe pirates. I don't have a problem with PvP. PvP is very much required for the game to be balanced, otherwise it will become just another tracking simulator. However, doing more work for less profit and higher risk is not piracy, it is stupidity. When I was trying to convince an elevator to allow me to withdraw my cargo, some dude towed my ship 2 kilometers away and his buddy started salvaging it. Turns out they had an SRV to tow, Vulture to salvage, Taurus for storage, and some fighters for defense. An entire operation involving multiple people, crime stat, just to get a subpar amount of RMC considering the amount it takes to salvage a ship as opposed to a plate in space. And I can't even be mad, because as stupid as that endeavor was, it is also cool as fuck. What other game allows shit like that to occur? Problem here is that you don't really have any way to fight back, since they tow you from an armistice zone. Armistice zones screw with your ability to defend your property, as well as with the process of loading cargo, since the tractor beam works only on landing pads, so if you land a bit further out as to not block other people, then you will have a hard time loading your cargo. And finally, there are griefers, who intentionally and with no other benefit but shits and giggles break elevators. They can do it in a couple of different ways. One, they can leave a small object in the elevator, so it won't go down. Most of the time it's a med pen hidden somewhere in the elevator or on top of it. Two, they can block the elevator with a ship or an entire pad, depending on the size, which forces people to land further out and get screwed by the armistice zone. And 3, they can bring up the elevator with their own cargo, rearrange it on the grid in a specific way, which will glitch it the fuck out. At that point, any attempts to load anything into the elevator will state that there is no space, as the elevator has now either zero or negative capacity. On rare occasions, it can also duplicate your cargo, but the most common outcome is the elevator's refusal to work, as if it identified as some Gen Z 18-year-old complaining about capitalism. So there you have it, that's how the event is going. I think I'll play something else, until there is less people doing it or they fix some of the issues. What am I saying? There's no way they fix it, but at least a purge button on the elevator terminals that resets the elevator and removes any and all objects would be nice. I'm fine with bugs, seeing as it is an alpha and whatnot, but we could use some way to recover from the bugs. Anyway, I'm a peace out. See ya.